What's going on, players and haters? It's your least favorite duelist here, back with another video. And today is a big day. Although I'm pretty sure a lot of my regular viewers are like, where the hell have you been? And I'll just be upfront with you guys. I've been not in the mood to record due to the meta being very boring. As you know, I am a big Buster Blader boy, and harpies floating around everywhere destroying your back row just makes the deck pretty much unplayable, and that's just facts. Some other things too, just life stuff, work, the baby, all of that kind of culminated into me taking a long hiatus in between videos. But here we are today, and we have exciting things to talk about, exciting things to show. So let's get into it. So a big discussion I'm going to talk about today as we're going through the deck is going to be this right here. As long as this thing starts loading, we're going to talk about the new stuff that came out yesterday in the Fantastic Art Box, which is the Buster Blader support. We did get Buster Dragon here, and we also got Destruction Sword Memories. These are two just things that we've been desperately needing in Buster Blader for Duel Links. Unfortunately, we didn't get Prologue, which is another trap card, and it's for good reason. It's a one card combo into making a Buster Dragon and your fusion. I don't know if we'll get that anytime soon. Duel Links will have to be way like power crept at that point for that to be in this game. But let's discuss Buster Dragon and the topic of discussion, which is going to be, is Buster Dragon the direct replacement to DNA surgery? So let's read the card here. So essentially, Buster Dragon here is a DNA surgery on legs. It's got 1200 attack, 2800 defense. It's a level 8 synchro generic monster, so you can use anything to make this bad boy right here. So it says here, once per turn, if you do not control a Buster Blader monster, you can target one Buster Blader in your graveyard, special summon it. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can equip, or you can target one Buster Blader monster you control, equip it with one Destruction Sword monster from your graveyard, and as a quick effect. So there you go. So what does this mean here? So pretty much this is a DNA surgery, like I was mentioning before. It can special summon a Buster Blader from the graveyard. So essentially you just need this card, a Buster Blader engrave, and your fusion spell, and you can go make your beautiful fusions. Now I'm going to be upfront for those of you who just want a quick answer. I'm going to say no, that Buster Dragon itself is not a direct replacement to DNA surgery. But in some builds that have been floating around, I mean, the deck is still fairly new. The support came out yesterday. So there's going to be some tinkering possibly to eliminate DNA surgery altogether. Some skills that probably will still be necessary in this deck is going to be something like Destiny Draw. Now, I am against Destiny Draw just because it's a boring skill. Everyone uses it. It's such a crutch for a lot of decks, and it is very good. I'm not going to say it's not good, but it is a crutch. So I am running Draw Sense Light in this build, just because I am running a bunch of like stuff that searches our Buster Whelp here to get into our combos. So let's also discuss the other new tech here, which is going to be Destruction Sword Memories. So you discard one Destruction Sword card, you special summon a Buster Blader from the deck, and then you can banish this card from your graveyard. You can fusion summon when you do that, using monsters in your graveyard. So it's a fusion spell, and essentially it's an emblem of the Dragon Destroyer here. So if we go up to Buster Blader related cards here, it's essentially one of these, but better, because it actually special summons the Buster Blader from the deck. So it's a really great card. That's why we're not running emblems in this build either, just because it's a non-searchable searcher. So Destruction Sword Memories is going to be a direct upgrade of 100% just for its special summoning capabilities and its fusion capabilities. So that's also why we're running like only 2 Destruction Swordsman fusions. I'm considering running 3, to be honest, because if you open up like Destruction Sword Fusion, Destruction Sword Memories, and a fusion spell, you're in a pretty good spot. But I decided to swap that out for Karma the Destruction Swordsman, which is essentially a triple DD Crow when you have a Buster Blader on field. So with BA running around already, and there's like some Yang Ying stuff, and like, you know, people, there's still a fair amount of decks that play out of the grave. So I just think that this is a very good card. Some other options here that we can look at here would be stuff like Robot Destruction Sword here. This one here just negates the activated effects of face-up cards. There's not too many cards that do that. This is decent versus something like Harpy's Hunting Ground. But that's about it. Or Head Judging, but that card is very minimally played. So there's no really a point to run that. The last card here that we could potentially run, these are just like tech options, is Wizard Buster. This one here shuts off the graveyard for your opponent's monsters when it's equipped to a Buster Blader, and then you can send it to the graveyard to add a Destruction Sword monster, which would be like either this one. I think it's except this one, right? Yeah, except this one. So you're always gonna pretty much pull out a Buster Whelp or a Destruction Sword Master. So yeah, that's the deck there. Hopefully I was insightful. We'll go over the rest of the build here. We are playing 3 Whelps. This is 100% mandatory. If you don't have 3, you're gonna have a bad time. Not with 3. Now, just a refresher as well to what this card does. So when you normal summon it, you add a Destruction Sword card from your deck to your hand, which includes the following, which is going to be your Destruction Sword Master here, your Fusion Spell, your Trap, and then all the other cards I kind of mentioned earlier, and also the triple DD Crow. And then you contribute it to special summon a Buster Blader from your hand or graveyard. And then it has a third effect where if you have a Buster Blader on the field, you can discard a Destruction Sword card and special summon this card from the grave. Now, those last 2 effects are going to be one or the other. You can't do both. Yeah. So, there's that. So, essentially, what that means is that if you open up like a Buster Whelp and you have like a Destruction Sword and like another Destruction Sword card, you can pull out Buster Blader from the deck, and then on the following turn you can make like Buster Dragon, and essentially you have a full combo, which would be like similar to having a DNA surgery up. So that's that. So Whelp 100% has to be at 3. We're playing 1 Buster Blader Destruction Sword Master. I'm only playing 1 of these as opposed to like some decks running like multiple copies, just because this card becomes Buster Blader when it's on the field or the graveyard. Now, because of that, you can't actually tribute that off. You can't tribute your Whelp off to bring this out of your hand. So it's kind of a brick. You kind of want to just like discard this card off of Destruction Sword Memories, or you know, with these cards here, because your spell cards here, they can discard another card to add it back to hand. This one being any card, and then this one here being specifically a Destruction Sword card. So that's why we're only playing 1. You can pull it out with memories though, so that's the thing. And then it has a secondary effect here where like if you destroy, if a monster is destroyed, I believe, let's just make sure if it's destroyed by, yeah, so if a monster is destroyed by battle or card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can equip that monster to this guy. And then it has a third effect where you can send that card you equip to the graveyard and you destroy all monsters your opponent controls with the same type. So that third effect doesn't come up too often. This would have to like destroy something, stick around next turn. If you haven't cleared the board, then you can use it. So like there's a lot of downside to it, but it is searchable. Then the last 2 cards here, as far as the Buster Blader stuff, is going to be Destruction Swordsman Fusion. This is a essentially almost like a super poly. So you can fusion summon using cards from either side of the field or your hand to fusion summon. So that's pretty much why we're making everything dragons, is to go into our big bad boy here. Okay. Yeah. And then the last thing here is going to be Karma the Destruction Swordsman here. So you target up to 3 monsters of the same type in your opponent's graveyard, banish them, and then if you do, 1 Buster, BLADER monster, or Destruction Sword monster you control gains 500 attack and defense. So very good versus the new hotness now, which is BA. Some tips for that. For this, so BA monsters, let's say they are sent by Dante, they will not activate right away on Dante's effect. They will trigger after the effect is over for Dante. So you want to banish the BA monsters at the same time that Dante's going off. So that way you don't have to worry about the BA crap. And specifically banish those Farfas. So the rest of the deck is just some tech stuff. So we're running 3 Karma Cut. We're running 2 Sage with Eyes of Blue. This one is a searcher for your Buster Whelp here, because it adds a level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand. So we can add this one. And then obviously, you know, the other effect of Sage. You see it all the time with Blue Eyes. You know, they go into Blue Eyes White Dragon or something, you know, when they discard it. And that's why we're running 1 Dragon Spirit of White, just to banish back row. The deck is still very susceptible to back row, so that's why we're just running this to be annoying. It's also like semi a brick, but we do have ways to like just dump it in grave with like our Destruction Swordsman fusion. We're also running 3 Karma Cuts. Karma Cut is also a meta call right now, just due to BA. The monsters do not trigger when they're banished, and this is also just a meta call for Yang Zing, because those trigger when they are destroyed by battle or card effects. So that's why we're running Karma Cut. Yeah, so that's the deck. Let's go into the replays. If you've stuck around, thank you for sticking around. I got a couple replays for you showing off the deck. Hopefully, like if there's a day where we get Prologue of the Destruction Swordsman, you know, we can cut DNA surgery out altogether. There are some ways to just make a Buster Dragon on turn 1. There's like Side Reflector. There's using like the Junk Converter, Junk Seacron combo, which might be a thing too. It's just gonna depend on how the meta plays out. All right, so right now we're gonna be playing against Black Wings here. So we open up Whelp. We're gonna go ahead and search for our memories here. We have DNA surgery already. That's kind of like the other thing that's nice about DNA surgery. I'm just gonna pause it real quick. So DNA surgery is just like, you don't need to make a synchro. You don't have to do this math to add up to 8. You just have DNA surgery. It is susceptible to back row. So Buster Dragon and DNA surgery are gonna just be dependent on what's just the hotness. Like, is back row destruction really popular? Then we're gonna have to just maybe do a Side Reflector combo instead and just cut DNA surgery out altogether. But here we go. So we're playing against Black Wings here. He opened up Simoon and he's just gonna go ahead and pop off here. Very scary. Black Wings just terrify me. They're still a very good OTK deck. You know, they still clap them cheeks, but we're gonna clap some cheeks ourselves. I didn't explain the Buster BLADER fusion, but while this guy's comboing off here, well, we're gonna pull out Buster BLADER here using our trap. He's just gonna go into his Black Wing stuff. But anyways, I actually lost my train of thought. I'm such a bad YouTuber. Yeah, so that's what I was saying about like the Side Reflector stuff. It's not terrible, but it still like adds more bricks to the hand, you know. The deck will change based off of meta for sure. All right, so he's gonna go ahead here and like cheese me. He makes like Dark Arm Dragon, I guess with the intention like if I fusion summon to pop my monster, but unfortunately it is a dragon, and so I was gonna talk about the fusion. There we go. We're back on track. We're back on YouTube. So here's the fusion here. So the fusion essentially is the reason why you want to play it. So when we fuse, you make this big bad boy here, the Dragon Destroyer Swordsman. It gains 1,000 attack for each dragon on the field, I believe. Wow, it's been a minute. It gains 1,000 attack and defense for every dragon on your opponent's side of the field and graveyard. There we go. It turns all dragons to defense position, and it negates their effects as well. So that's very good. And then on top of it, it does massive piercing damage. You pierce the nuts so good with this deck. So you just get in for really massive hits. So he's gonna go here. He's gonna Forbidden Chalice, thinking I don't know why. He puts a wedge counter on our Buster Blader here with his Blackwing Armor Master. And then we're gonna use Karma here to boost our big fusion up to 5,300 and just hit him for 4,000. So even if he didn't take that 1,000 from his Blackwings cards, he was still dead. So yeah. I've been really enjoying the deck with the new support. It's been amazing. And I can't really explain how excited I am that it's finally in Duel Links. Now it is, you know, there's way more support in TCG, but you know, reading is really hard, and I don't want to make like a 60 card deck just to play Buster Blader. So we're going against like a Jaden guy. We open up Whelp again. We're going to add the fusion this time, just because we have DNA Surgery and the fusion in hand. He's going to go here, MST our back row. We're just going to pop our fusion now. We have a DNA Surgery set, so we can lock him out of monster effects right now. So he's going to go ahead here, make this fusion that can pop monsters. And we're just going to go ahead and flip that DNA Surgery. Now, just so you know, some tips also. So this card negates, doesn't allow your opponent's monsters to activate their effects. So let's say that he had activated this effect here to pop this, our Buster Blader here. It would have still went off even if we had flipped the DNA Surgery after he activated the effect. So we always have to do it before. You have to be like proactive with this deck. So we're going to go here, normal summon Sage, add a Whelp to hand. We're going to try to get in here. He's going to Tretch us, but we're still not done yet. We're going to let him hit us here just so we can get a proc of our skill. We just want to add cards to hand here. So we're going to Whelp again, add Memories. We're going to use Sage to get rid of some of that back row. We're going to go ahead and try to banish that one by the deck. He's going to Chalice it. And then we're going to discard our Kite right here to have a Destruction Sword card in hand for our Memories. He's going to pop our monster here. We're just going to go ahead and flip that Memories here. Bring out the Destruction Sword Master. We open up another Whelp. And we have Fusion here. Now we could go into Buster Dragon here, but the reason why I don't is I don't know what he has set. So I just want to like put pressure on him. So that's why we do that. We could have like pulled out, you know, Buster Blader from the graveyard and all that good stuff. But if he had another, like, let's say he had another Book of Moon, we probably would have lost that game. He could have like made the big old piercing guy or something or whatever. I don't know. All right, next is going to be this deck here. So let's see. We open up Whelp again, and we brick very hard here. We open up 2 Buster Bladers. Unfortunately, it's just cards you don't want to see now. We always want to like search them or pull them out. So we open up all 3 Buster Bladers, which is very unfortunate. That's just comes with playing Buster Blader. But we do have the Karma here, so that way we can make our Buster Blader big enough to swing over this big bad boy here. And we have a Kite right in hand, so we're not looking too bad here. We're going to go ahead and Sage of Eyes right here. And we're going to use Whelp's Graveyard effect, go into Buster Dragon here. We're going to pull out Buster Blader from the graveyard. And we're just going to just start snatching up his monsters. Now, the reason why I do this here is... What the hell? He's playing Raiden. The reason why I do this here is to force him to attack my Buster Blader here. Because if he doesn't, then I can just blow up whatever he fusion summons out of the Luna Light deck. So that's why we do that, even though we risk getting OTK'd. But that's it right there. Yeah, baby. So that's the video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. What the hell? I don't care about all this stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will be posting more videos. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you soon. Deuces.